Hello again. Now we're going to talk about part two of the Deathly Hallows, the second movie, the last third of the book, and we're going to compare them and stuff and see where it goes. Alright, so it starts off pretty, basically exactly where the book left off, which is perfect. It shouldn't start off any other way. And so yeah, uh, they go break into the Wizard Bank and steal the last the cup, the Horcrux, which is the part on the cover of the book, but it's not really that important. Anyway, so yeah, that feels a little more like part of the first part, just because it's like them walking around for a while, like camping and stuff like that. Well, not really, but the same idea. And then they go to Hogwarts, and this is where we start to see some changes because other than up to this point, it's been basically exactly the same. And then it's not right away. Actually, it is. No, but it starts to get stupid. Well, not stupid, but a little bit unnecessary. So starts off fine, I think. Oh yeah, they're wearing Muggle clothes in the Deathly Hallows for most of it, which is fine because they're on the run in the Muggle world for a large portion of it. They're not going to be wearing the robes, but there are a couple things which is like dumb. So here's this one part that I have a problem with. So Harry finds gets to Hogwarts. Harry, Ron, and Hermione. They all get to Hogwarts. They're talking, and then they find Neville, and he has this whole secret uh, organization set up where they're basically in school and stuff like that. So that's all cool. Also, we get like Neville is just awesome in this movie, and also, he's awesome in the book, and they do a good job of showing that in the movie. Um, what else? Okay, I'm getting off. I'm just thinking too much. So yeah, they get anyways one of the Death Eaters and stuff that are running the school find out that Harry is in the school, so Snape gets them all organized in the Great Hall, and he's like, if anyone knows where Harry is, they need to tell me and stuff like that. And it's just this part is dumb because it sort of happens in the book, but it's completely different. One, all the students who are from Neville and Ginny and them have organized resistance almost. They're hiding. They're not like, oh yeah, we do this on the side, and we're also gonna, Snape called everyone to the Great Hall. Well, we gotta go. No, they're like hiding. They have their own organization going. They're there to fuck things up. They're not there to still do good, to like still be good students, just annoyed at, like, it just doesn't make sense because they're all there when they're in their organized houses with uh with the robes on and everything. And it's just like, why are they there? They shouldn't be there. They should be off hiding like where they were before. And then Snape's like, oh, where is Harry Potter? And then Harry steps out in his robe and everything's like, hey, I'm right here. And it's like, why would you do that? It's so dumb. It doesn't fit properly. It works better in the book where it's just kind of like they caught. I don't remember exactly how it happens, but it's similar because McGonagall and Snape have a really short duel, and it's mostly just Snape not trying to hurt McGonagall because I don't know. I shouldn't say spoiler alert, but like Snape is actually a good guy after all. And so yeah, he just kind of leaves, and then they take back to school, and that's when all the Hogwarts or the Neville, let's call them Neville's Resistance. Uh, when Neville's Resistance leaves and exits their hiding place, basically, and then they go out and set up the Hogwarts for attack, which is awesome. We get to see, yeah, they think they do a good job here because it's mostly like, okay, Harry's got to go off and find Horcruxes, and then we just see Neville. I mean, we just see like a tiny bit of it later when Harry, Ron, and Hermione get caught in the middle of something. But basically, we do get to see a whole bunch of like McGonagall sending all the the suits of armor to come alive and stuff like that, and then setting up all the magical barriers. It's really cool to see, and we see all the like the giants and the huge armies of Death Eaters and stuff that come and attack. I think it's pretty awesome to see a huge battle because you gotta show a huge battle. Oh yeah, Neville blows up the bridge, which is it's fun. It's kind of like yeah, awesome, but it's not really necessary. Like it doesn't really happen in the book, but it's not like I'm against it. I'm like, well, sure, that was cool and stuff. Like it was fun, and yeah, it's like, and then so then they find the next Horcrux. That's basically the same. Oh, here's a funny change they made. It's supposed to be Crabbe and Goyle and Malfoy go after them while they're looking for the one Horcrux, and then they set fire to I forget the room's called, but the room that they hide everything in. And there's some nice little nods to things there, like the Pixies. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So so they set fire to the thing, and this is funny because yeah, they have Crabbe or Goyle. I really can't remember which uh, gets burned up by the fire. But it's really funny because it's different from the book because in the book it's Crabbe and Goyle are there, but in the movie it's Crabbe or Goyle or I think it's Crabbe and this other guy, this other black guy. Actually, yeah, it's the black guy and he has a name. I can't remember it now. And but either way, it's not Crabbe and Goyle who it's supposed to be. They're and they somewhere along the movies they forgot that it's Malfoy and then his henchmen, which are Crabbe and Goyle. They're always together. Sometimes it's just Malfoy, but if it's Malfoy and his cronies, then it's Crabbe and Goyle. So it's not really important, but it's kind of funny that they lost one of the actors at one point, so they just killed off the one who's not supposed to be in and stuff. Anyway, it's not really important, but it's kind of funny. Um, oh yeah, so then the battle gets more intense and stuff. Harry has to go. This is something I didn't like. So Harry has to. Oh yeah, he sees the memory of Snape, which I thought they did really well. And you really like care for Snape, and you're like, Alan Rickman's a great actor, he should be nominated. But no, they don't nominate Harry Potter for anything except for special effects. But it doesn't even win because no, I don't want to. I don't want to go into this because Hugo is the best special effects. No, I don't want to talk about this right now. I think I already did it actually. Anyways, um, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, they see Snape's memory. Snape that whole scene was great. Then Harry decide, okay, he's got a Horcrux in him, so he has to kill himself or get Voldemort to kill him. And so that's what he does, and he dies. And then he goes to somewhere between heaven and earth, and gets to talk to Dumbledore. And here's where they don't do a very good job explaining what happens. What it was actually is because Voldemort resurrected himself in the fourth one using part of Harry's blood, which was protected by his mother who sacrificed herself. This is very complicated. See, Voldemort thought that would be a benefit to himself because it's like, okay, so now I have part of the blood that's in me is protected by uh, by Harry's mom dying. So that shouldn't backfire at all. That'll make me even stronger. There's no way that could hurt me, but it actually does because what happens is because Harry has part of Voldemort in him and Voldemort has part of Harry in it. It's kind of confusing. But basically, eventually we discover that the Death Stick, the Elder Wand, is actually should actually be for Harry because what it was is Dumbledore had it. Then whoever defeats the person who had it last can use the wand. And then so in the sixth one, Snape kills Dumbledore, but Dumbledore didn't have the wand at the time. It was also planned, but Draco Malfoy actually disarmed Dumbledore before Snape killed him. So Draco Malfoy becomes the new heir. I don't know what you call it, but the the Elder One would be his because he has defeated the previous owner of the wand, so he could use it perfectly. Now later on in part one of the Deathly Hallows, Harry defeats Malfoy by taking his wand. So so now Harry has the actual ability to use the wand. And so Voldemort was confused there just because he thought Snape had the ability because Snape killed Dumbledore. So then Voldemort killed Snape. He's like, there, problem solved. Now it's really hard to explain, but basically the Elder Wand is not able to kill Harry. Voldemort's not able to kill Harry with the Elder Wand because of because it has because Harry's the true master of the wand. And the reason that Harry didn't die the first time he gets killed is because, well, the way they explain it in the movie is more like he has part of Voldemort in it, and that's the part that gets destroyed, which is partly true. And that's more like a bonus. It's really because he was protected by his mother, and Voldemort can't destroy that because Voldemort also has that same blood connection. It doesn't allow him to kill that because the protection is still working through Voldemort and Harry connected. It's complicated, but it makes sense if you read the book. So read the book. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing a great job of explaining it, but the point of this is if you've read the book and the movie, but there's not many people who have. Anyways, you should. Basically, it's not just that Voldemort destroyed the Horcrux part of himself that was in Harry. It's more like they had a connection when Voldemort was resurrected. They had the blood that was protected by Harry's mother. It's very complicated, and it's just they simplify it in the movie with a really short explanation from Dumbledore, which is okay when you think about it because it's just so complicated. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's so complicated. It's not a bad thing that they simplify it in the movie. And but yeah, we get a really short scene with Dumbledore. Like always, Dumbledore usually has these huge, long explanations of everything that happened, and that's why Harry needed to see Dumbledore. He's like, okay, I'm confused. What's going on? And he's like, what do I do after this? So yeah, so he gets to talk to Dumbledore and in almost heaven, and yeah, it was done fine, and that part's fine. It's not really different. It's just way shorter, and it could be longer. And yeah, these are just things that they have to shorten for time. They're understandable, but it's like I still prefer it if it was longer. And then here's the part that's way cooler in the book. Harry decides he's gonna continue on living and try to defeat Voldemort. So well, in the movie, Voldemort's like, haha, Harry Potter's dead. Look, I killed him. Yeah, you guys should all surrender now. And then Neville gets up and he does a speech and stuff. And that's cool. I like Neville. This really shows how awesome Neville is. But it's way cooler in the book. I'll show you. I'll tell you why. So in the book, the same thing. Voldemort's like, haha, I killed Harry Potter. You guys should surrender now, or I'll kill you all. And then Neville basically just runs up and like charges at Voldemort, and Voldemort just like stops him from getting, but he gets like right close to Voldemort, and then oh yeah, so so Voldemort's like, you suck, Neville, or something. No, he's like, well, you're very feisty. I think you should maybe join my ranks. And then Neville's like, fuck you, old man, kind of thing. Not really like that, but he's like, no, screw you. And so then so then he gets the hat, the sorting hat from Fox the Phoenix, and it gives him the sword of Godric Gryffindor, which is what they have been using to kill Horcruxes. And oh yeah, so he puts it on his head, and then Voldemort lights it on fire. no, he's going to put, Voldemort's going to put it on his head while it's on fire, and then at the last second, Neville pulls the sword out and like swings at Voldemort basically. I, either way, his snake attacks Neville, and so Neville just chops the snake in half. I forgot another part. Yeah, so that part's basically the same in the movie. Well, Neville does get to kill the snake. They just make it more elaborate because it's just kind of like Neville does it in like a quick instant, but it's like it takes a while for Neville to kill the snake in the movie. Like Harry, Ron, and Hermione are even attacking the snake too. Here's the other thing. Okay, so sorry I messed this part. So going back earlier, after Harry sees Snape's memory, he's going to go to Voldemort to get himself killed, basically. But in the movie, which is this part I didn't like, he goes and talks to Ron and Hermione first. It's like, I'm sorry, this is what I've got to do. I have to do this to save everyone. And like we've already, and at this point, Harry's seen like Lupin died, which just sucks. It's like that's one of the deaths that really got me in the book is Lupin and Tonks' wife, and he just had a kid and stuff, which they should have mentioned because they really didn't in the movie. And that's just like, man, that just sucks, and it does. And it's like that for most of the deaths in the book. It's just they don't do as good a job in the movie most of the time, which is too bad. Then so right, so we got yeah, so he's trying to Ron and Hermione, Harry is, and it's just it doesn't fit because why like they all they've been doing is trying to protect Harry basically, and he's saying I'm gonna go kill myself now. Why would he say that to them? Like they wouldn't let him go, and that's why in the book he's like, okay, I can't even go to Ron and Hermione because they're not gonna let me go. They're gonna stop me from saving everyone by killing myself basically. And so what he does is he's just like, oh hey Neville, if you see that snake that Voldemort has, yeah, you should probably kill that. And Neville's like, okay, and then let's see it. So that's all he really says to anyone. And yeah, so that part is kind of annoying. All right, so back to the very conclusion. Yeah, Neville defeats the snake, and then at eventually Harry's like, "Ha! I'm alive!" And they're like, "Whoa!" and stuff, and everyone's fighting and stuff. And this part's way cooler in the book because not only does everyone come in and like totally defeat like what the Death Eaters and everything, but then we get a whole bunch more like Buckbeak, the Hippogriff comes back, Roth, which is Hagrid's half brother giant, comes back, the Centaurs from the Forbidden Forest come back, and just like this huge compilation of everything fighting each other, and it's just so fun to read. And here's the other thing. So in the movie, Voldemort and Harry have a huge wizardy thing, but then they're all like, yeah, they do the thing with the spells where they go back and forth and it doesn't go anywhere, which they've done like 8 times already, and they just do it like 4 or 5 more times in the movie, and this is kind of annoying because it's not really in the book, and I'll say what happens in the book in a minute. This is going to take a while. Anyways, let's keep going. So yeah, so then like Harry and Voldemort are still fighting the lightning thing, and then they go around and it's like, oh, let's finish this the way we started together, and they fly around and their faces merge, and it's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to happen, and it's obviously to make it more exciting, but it's cooler in the book. It's not really exciting, but it's all like because Harry has just figured out how he can defeat Voldemort, and so they basically have like a standoff, him and Voldemort, and Harry's just explaining how he is the master of the Elder Wand because he defeated Draco, who defeated Dumbledore, the previous master, and and then Voldemort's like, "What's that one word? Avada Kedavra," and then he kills himself, which just backfires and kills himself, and so yeah, Voldemort's dead. End of story, and yeah. we get sort of that. Like eventually, what it shows is in the movie is like the Avada Kedavra goes like backwards through the wand into him, and then he melts into cornflakes, which is I just think is dumb. If you notice, there's three major deaths in this last scene from bad guys, anyways. Voldemort, the Snake, and well, yeah, important to the plot. So the Snake, Voldemort, and Bellatrix Lestrange, and it's just they give bad guys all the same death. Voldemort dissolves into cornflakes and he's now dust, whatever. And and the snake, when they cut the snake in half, which is normal snakes would just die, and the snake isn't really magical. It's just like Voldemort can talk to it, so it's kind of like his pet plus bonus because he can chat with it. I don't know. But it's more like an animal. It's just a regular animal, and it would just die. But of course, when you chop it in half, it has to like dissolve into a million pieces. And then Bellatrix, who gets killed by Molly Weasley, Ron's mother, which is just awesome because it's like she's finally cool now. um, she's already a cool character. Just like she's also badass now. I don't know. But in the book, it's like all caps, "Get away from my daughter, you bitch," or something like that. And in the movie, she just "Daughter, you bitch," and like you can barely hear her. And she should be like, "No, ew, I'm gonna kill you, bitch," and like, because that's what it is in the book. And I think other people come to help her, and she's like, "No, I'm doing this," and it's awesome. And she murders uh, Bellatrix Lestrange, and it's like awesome and stuff. But again, for the third time, Bellatrix gets like frozen or something, and then she shoots like a blasting spell at her, and she shatters into a million pieces. Like this is the third time that this has happened. It's not. It's like every single bad guy dies this way in the movie. It's so dumb. Anyways, I'm almost. I think that's basically it. Yeah. So just most of the changes are just to make it more exciting, and I don't think it helps. I think it's a little bit better in the book, but it's still pretty good, and there's still some really cool stuff they added. And I think that was basically all I want to talk about. Yeah, in the book, bad guys die, and they have bodies that are regular people. And I don't know, it just made their deaths seem less significant when they exploded into a million pieces. It made it seem more cartoony or something. I don't know. And I think that's it. Other than that, it's pretty good. They get the scene at the end basically exactly the same. With they just if they just mentioned like Lupin's kid and stuff like that, I would have enjoyed it more. And yeah, that's all the Harry Potters. If you want to say anything else, comments below. Let me know what you thought of the Harry Potter movies. Did you like think they were close to the book? Have you read them? I don't know. Just tell me stuff. And also uh, comment what other movies you want me to, that were books and you want me to talk about. Um, that's it. Thanks for watching.